So when we first got here, I was very interested in being in DC. I've never been to DC before, and it was a new experience for me. And then when I got to hotel and started meeting people, it's just nice to meet other scouts that try and work hard to come to do this for our nation. And one of our first places we went was a mining association, and it was cool. They had a bunch of minerals out that I've never seen before, but I mean, it was just cool to see them in person and to know what different machinery they use to pull it out of the earth.
We visited the Space Goddard Flight Center. It was an amazing experience. Optical engineer of the Space Center, he showed us around. One of my favorite things that I saw there was the James Webb telescope that was being constructed. It was an amazing experience because it's about to take over it's about to replace the Hubble telescope.
At the Naval Academy. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. The amount of football fields they have, the church, the underground thing for John Paul Jones. I just think it's all awesome.
And one of the nights we went to tour the World War II, Korean, and Vietnam War memorials. Both of my Scoutmasters, Bev Verweg and Brian Reiners, always teach our troop how important service is to your country. So it was very special to see the names of all the people who served their country, and it was especially very sentimental for me to actually find the name of one of my relations at the Vietnam War.
Over this trip, we got the chance to go to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, where we had the opportunity to lay a wreath in honor of those unknown soldiers. I thought it was pretty cool how the soldiers guarding the tomb, they take a certain amount of steps walking back and forth to the V of the Star Spangled Banner to honor all those soldiers that are laying there.
So one of the things that we did throughout this week was visit the Pentagon. And I think, in my opinion, walking in, it was very surreal to kind of see all the protection that they had going on. And it was also really cool to see all the employees that they had there. Because as we were walking down all of these hallways, and keep in mind they have 26,000 employees, we were walking around and getting a tour, and constantly employees would be stopping and saying hey, I'm an Eagle Scout, and things like that, and they would congratulate us. So it was really cool to see how many Eagle Scouts work in the building.
Washington's place is it's like a big mansion. I think the guest room, girls' wing guest room, where it had a little crib and it would probably fit me. That's the room that I like the most.
And we actually toured the Supreme Court. What I really got interested in and liked about it was that we got to see where the justice sat and be able to sit in on a talk about the Supreme Court.
Over this last week in DC, I had the privilege of visiting the Belmont House, and over the time that we got to spend there, I learned so many incredible things about the women's suffrage and all the men and women that have, tried to help women achieve and get their rights. So we learned a lot about Alice Paul and her family and everything that they did in our history to help women gain their rights.
And so one of the really cool things that we got to do is we got to tour the Capitol before meeting a lot of politicians and dignitaries. So something that was really cool is that each state has a statue in the Capitol, and so the people can choose what they want their statue to be of, and at any point that can be changed. And so what I thought was really cool is the inventor of air conditioning has a statue in the Capitol. And we also got to go underneath the rotunda of the Capitol and look at all the paintings and stand underneath the huge dome. So that was really awesome and cool to see.
We met a lot of really cool people, high officials of the country in this trip of Washington, D.C. for a report to the nation. A few prime examples are Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. We got to go meet them in their offices and got to present the report, coin, and neckerchief to them in a highly dignified manner.
And as part of the report to the nation, we had the opportunity to go into the White House and actually the Oval Office to meet with President Trump. We spent about 10 or 15 minutes with him in the Oval Office. He walked right out and was extremely excited to see all of us shaking our hands. And we began to share with him the report and all the accomplishments that Scouts across the country had done. And he seemed extremely impressed with the more than 13 million hours of service that Scouts completed last year, more than 60,000 Eagle Scouts. He was very excited to see those accomplishments. And one once again told us that how big of a supporter he is of the Boy Scouts.
This trip has been absolutely incredible. I've had the most amazing time getting to know all of these amazing, remarkable Scouts from across the nation and getting to deliver the message of the wonderful news of the Boy Scouts of America to various people across Washington, D.C. This trip has really helped me get a glimpse into what the public service side of our country does, and got to see what all of our leaders do across the nation and see how leadership and those skills that are taught in the Scouts actually play out in real life. And I hope that someday I'll be able to give back to our country through public service in a similar way. This really has been inspiring and just one of the most fun opportunities I've had in my Scouting career.